Alrighty, we're live. So, welcome to Ben Codes. It's late, as you might know. Um, hmm, just trying to get everything sorted. I know I said we're gonna continue to watch. Not watch. Excuse me. We're going to continue to read the JS way. I'm gonna do that before I get into eloquent. Sorry, excuse me. I'm gonna do that before we get into eloquent JavaScript. So, give me 1 second. I know there's a delay. I just want to see how far the delay is. Truth be told, yeah. I want to see how far it is. So I think the delay is like 20 seconds or so. I wonder, how do you shorten the delay? Oh well. This is working with strings. I think I can manage this. So 9 is working with strings. Ooh. 8 is working with strings. 9 is going into object-oriented programming. Oh my goodness. It's about to be lit. So, let's see. Okay. So, object is going to 9. 10 is functional programming. Social news program. Yeah, that sounds kind of dope. What's a web page? Oh, anyway, step. Discovering the DOM. Traversing the DOM. Modify page structure. React to events. Okay. Manipulate forms. I suck at forms. Animate elements. Now that's gonna be dope. Chapter 18. So I'm stoked about chapter 18. Web development 101. Okay, cool. HTTP requests. Okay. Use web APIs. That's going to be dope. Send data to a web server. Discover Node. Discover Node.js. Creating a web server and wrapping it all up with this. There's a conclusion one. It's supposed to inspire to go forward. Move forward. It's interesting because the MDN is here. Eloquent JavaScript, which is open here. JavaScript.info, which is in here. We learned a lot already. JavaScript is a surprisingly deep language that still has a lot in store for you. Some prominent resources to strengthen your knowledge are these. Okay, well, cool. What is conclusion 2? Acknowledgements. Index. Intro. Intro 1, 2, and 3. The history. And then setting up an environment. Okay, so I understand why. I get that. Okay, cool. Where are we? 8. Working with strings. Let's work with some strings. How'd I have it last time? I think I added something like that. Hey, cool. Let's work with some strings. This might be. I think this is going to be pretty easy for me. We'll see though. A lot of code you write will involve dealing with change of text, characters, or strings. I have no clue why I'm yawning too much. Well, I guess because it's late or early, depending on how you look at it. The string. Let's recapitulate what we already know about strings. String value represents text. In JavaScript, a string is defined by placing text within single quotes or double quotes. You may use special characters within a string by prefacing them with the backslash, followed by another character. For example, use \n to add a line break. The plus operator concatenates, combines, or adds two or more strings. I do know that. Beyond these basic uses, strings have even more versatility. Okay. Obtaining string length. To obtain the length of a string, the number of characters it contains, add dot length to it. The length will be returned as an integer. Console log ABC, the length 3. Const string, I am a string. Const string length. Console log len. Const len. That's what it is. 13. I A M A S T R I N G. I A M A S T R I N G. 1, 2, 3, and 3 spaces. Cool. Although string values are primitive, JavaScript types, some properties and methods can be applied to them just as if they were objects by using the dot notation. Length is one of those properties. Converting string case. You may convert a string's text to lowercase by calling the toLowercase method. Alternatively, you may do the same with toUppercase to convert a string to uppercase. Const original word bor. Const lowercase word original word dot toLowercase. Console log lowercase word bor. Const uppercase word original word dot toUppercase. Console log uppercase word bor. toLowercase and toUppercase are two string methods. Like every string method, both have no effect on the initial value and return a new string. Tip: it is important to understand that once created, your string value never changes. Strings are immutable in JavaScript. Okay. Comparing two strings. You may compare two strings with the equal. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. we're back. So sorry about that. Anyway, you may compare two strings with the equals value and type operator. The operator returns a Boolean value true if the strings are equal, false if not. Word koala, log, word, true. Console log, word, kangaroo, false. Warning, string comparison is case sensitive. Do indeed pay attention to your lower and uppercase letters. Wording does not equal to word. So, cool, got it. See, this ain't even long. Strings as sets of characters. Identifying a particular character. You may think of a string as an array of characters. Each character is identified by a number called an index, just as it does for an array. The same golden rule applies. The first index of the first character in a string is 0, not 1. The highest index number is the string's length minus 1. Accessing a particular character. You know how to identify a character by its index. To access it, you use the brackets notation with the character index placed between the brackets. Warning, trying to access a string character beyond the string length produces an undefined result. Const sport, the 0 index would have B, the 6th index would be B, the 10th index, last character is at index 9. Okay. Iterating over a string. Now, if you want to access all string characters one by one, you could access each letter individually as seen above. Const name, Sarah, 5 characters. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, Sarah. This isn't practical. If your string contains more than a few characters, you need a better solution to repeat access to characters. Does the word repeat bring to mind a former concept? Loops, of course. You may write a loop to access each character of a string. Generally speaking, a for loop is a better choice than a while loop, since we know the loop needs to run once for each character in a string. I'm curious, since it counts spaces, how do you get rid of the spaces? But it's cool. Or don't count the spaces when you're trying to count letters in a string. Anyway, we'll see if that has that in there. For let I, basically the initialization, the start. I is less than my string dot length. Okay. That's where it's gonna stop. When that evaluates to, when I is greater than my string dot length, and if it isn't, I plus plus till it does. Use my string I to access each character one by one. What I learned the other day. The loop counter I ranges from 0, the index of the string's first character, to the string's length minus 1, index of the last character. When the counter value equals the string length, the expression becomes false and the loop ends. So the previous example may also be written with a for loop for an identical result. Boom. I got that. I get that. As for arrays covered earlier, a recent JavaScript evolution has introduced yet another option to iterate over a string, the for of loop. The previous example may also be written const name equals Sarah, or const letter of name, console log letter. I did put in a note to use that more, I believe. Leave it in. And to keep me from leaning forward so much, I'll get a boom arm eventually. It isn't going to be now. Well, I will eventually. Anyway. Okay. If the index is not needed inside the loop, this syntax is arguably simpler than a standard for loop. Turning a string. Wait a second. Okay. Turning a string into an array. The JavaScript method array.from can be used to turn a string into an array. This array can further be traversed with the for each method, just like the previous ones. This example shows the string letters one by one. Okay. Name. Make an array from name. Okay, cool. Searching inside a string. Looking for a particular value inside a string is a common task. The index of method takes as a parameter to search for a value. If that value is found inside the string, it returns the index of the first occurrence of the value. Otherwise, it returns negative one. Onk. Index of song dot index of onk. Console log song index of onk. Oh, negative one because it's mismatched. Because it's a capital right there. Got it. When searching for a value at the beginning or end of a string, getting kind of warm, man. Well, I look blurred out. I think because it's dark. I think I was fixing that with something. What was I fixing it with? Can't really remember. It's alright. Let's do this. There you go. Better. Anyway. Bringing a string into, wait a second. When searching for a value at the beginning or end of a string, you may also use the starts with and ends with methods. Both return either true or false, depending on whether the value is found or not. Beware, these methods are case sensitive. Starts with honk. Starts with honk. False. False. Starts with honk. What? It should log, right? I understand why I wouldn't find honk, the lowercase h, but why not the middle one? Honky tonk. Tonk. I mean, it's there. Song dot starts with tonk. It's false. Okay. Ends with men, ends with men, ends with tonk. Breaking a string into parts. Sometimes a string is made of several parts separated by a particular value. In that case, it is easy to obtain the individual parts by using the split method. This method takes as a parameter the separator and returns an array containing the parts. Okay. See something then. Because that's exactly what I asked. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This is what you would call a string method, I would assume. Yep. All right. Because they're not in an array. So how you put them in an array? I just read it. Name array. I guess the name is an array. Maybe I'm too tired for this after all. Oh well, we'll see. I'll finish this, at least. Sometimes a string is made of several parts, separated by a particular value. In that case, it's exactly. I already read that. Okay, cool. What I want to find out is what split makes an array. I'll look at yeah. So we done this. New. Yep. Windows. That's how you get rid of them. It's split. Clever. I need to put that in my study. And the first thing we'll do is like a review tomorrow. We'll do a review tomorrow. Sometimes you get busy. I ain't even realize a whole day passed by and I didn't stream. Honestly, I didn't study. Had enough going on. And JavaScript. what does the split method allow us to do with a string? I put stream. Y'all should have seen that. It's weird. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it right out of here. Yes, this one. It returns an array. That answers my question. Wait, wrong button. The split, alright, so the answer would be the split method takes. The split method wait. Anyway, the split method takes as a parameter the separator. I'm gonna say that some other way. Takes in a parameter the separator and returns an array containing the parts. Oh, that's a good note. Alright, too long, didn't read. Although string values are primitive JavaScript types, some properties and methods may be applied to them just as if they were objects. The length property returns the number of characters of the string. JavaScript strings are immutable. Once created, a string value never changes. String methods never affect the initial value and always return a new string. The two lowercase and two uppercase methods respectively return new converted strings to lower and uppercase. String values may be compared using the equal value and type operator, which is case sensitive. A string may be seen as an array of characters identified by their index. The index of the first character is 0, not 1. You may iterate over a string using either a for or the newer for of loop. The array.from method can be used to turn a string into an array that can be traversed letter by letter with the for each method. Searching for values inside a string is possible with the index of, starts with, and ends with methods. The split method breaks a string into subparts delimited by a separator. Cool. Now, write a program that asks you for a word, then shows its length, lowercase and uppercase values. Okay, let's do it. Word equal, I don't know. Bird. The bird is the word. Bird. Bird is the word. Bird. Alright. Shows its length. That's long. Okay. And another. What it needs to do. That's a long. Run it. Show me what you're working with. Where's that length? It's not a function. It is not a function. Cool. It is not a function. That's right. It's not a function or a method. That's just, yeah, I don't know. Sleep. Like my son would say, sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. So that's probably what it is. Bird is in all lowercase. Bird is in all uppercase. Does what I needed to do. For bird, bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird is the word. Bird, 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 bird. The bird is the word. Bird, 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 bird. Anyway. If I get hung up on that. Vowel count. Ooh. That's cool. It improves the previous program so it shows the number of vowels inside of a word. I think it's an index of Don't want to say index of. How you use it again? That's new for me. Index of. I'm gonna have to write a note for that. I didn't before. I should have. Honk. But it is case sensitive. Yeah, no, that's how that works. Index of. Let's see. Index of. Dang. Could I do it like that? Bump it. Let's see. Mm-mm. Hmm. Hmm. How would I manage that? For dot length gives me the number. It identifies it in upper and lowercase. What I needed to do is to tell me the vowels. And it doesn't matter. But lowercase word. I know that ain't gonna work, but we gonna try that anyway. I just know it ain't gonna work. Right. Right. Hmm. If we split it into an array, then that should work. That means I just use one of these. I think that's gonna work good, but we gonna try it. Hey, 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 I'm on to something. I'm on to something. I'm on to something. Okay. Split made an array. Split made in an array. Hmm. It's gotta work. It's simple and complex at the same time. Or it might be complex right now. But anyway, I appreciate y'all being with me. Um, it hasn't been long, but I'll be back in. Hopefully fresh in the morning. See you then. Alright, y'all. This has been Codes. Peace.